a voice of Robert Angus and our national anthem. And now, before today's game begins, we'll pause for these messages.
When I traded in my old wagon for an economy one, all my buddies said I'd have to give up a lot. You know, ride, room, and comfort. Well, I didn't give up. I got this Plymouth Volare wagon. I sure didn't give up big car rides. I didn't give up room for six. I didn't give up comfort. Oh, I did give up one thing when I bought my Volare wagon. A lot of trips to the gas station.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a one-barrel, six-cylinder Volare wagon with manual transmission at 25 miles per gallon highway, 18 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Volare wagon, America's first choice in wagons over the past 2 years.
For a great value on Plymouth Volare, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer. WJR congratulates Sister Agnes Mary Mansour, president of Mercy College of Detroit, recently named Alumna of the Year by the school's Alumni Association. Sister Agnes, we of Radio 76 salute you.
Bob Sykes has taken his final tune-up toss as Roy Smalley steps in to lead it off for the Minnesota Twins. The umpires will lead off, or will line up this way today. Behind the plate, Dale Ford. At first, Nick Bremigan. Out behind second, Russ Getz. And down the line, behind third, Joe Brinkman. Smalley, a switch hitter, will turn around, bat right-handed against the left-hander Sykes. We're ready to go on this sunny Saturday afternoon. At the microphone, Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Smalley batting .264 up there right-handed against the left-hander. And swings, and it's a foul ball deep to left field. It'll be back in the seat. Well, we want to congratulate Mr. Carey. We understand there was a very nice article in the Royal Oak Daily Tribune about Paul Carey. Mr. Craig Lisinski.
Yes, I got a copy last night, in fact, and I will thank Craig for his very fine write-up.
Looking forward to seeing that. Here's the windup in the pitch, and he takes the ball high, 1-1. And the picture of you out on the patio?
No. Caught in the studio, I think that's right.
Here it comes, Smalley. Takes the curve over. 1-2. So Leffelt's going to send me a copy, so I'll put it in the scrapbook.
Oh, all right. I even mentioned your name in it, Ernie.
Hey, all right. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing a little pop-up. Foul ball up at first. Thompson shading his eyes, fighting the sun. He has it for the out. Smalley fouls out the first baseman, Thompson. Now the fielding hero of the Minnesota victory last night, Bomball Rivera, coming to bat. Bomball, right-hand batter. Hitting .317 in 28 games, 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. Bob Sykes on the mound with the Tigers. Ready to go. Delivers. It is a strike call. Dale Ford, the plate umpire, said so. He stands deep, bends at the knees, and takes a cut on an inside fastball. It was strike 2 to count on Rivera. Twins have had a tough time against California, 1-5 against them, 1-5 against Oakland, 0-4 against Boston, but they've beaten Baltimore 4 out of 5 times. Fastball, high and away, 1-2 on Rivera. Yankees have beaten the Twins 3 out of 4 times. Kick in the pitch, he swings and fouls it up the mitt of Milt May. One out, nobody on. The game's just started on the sunshiny side of the afternoon at Tiger Stadium. We hope you'll be out with us tomorrow. It will be Free Jacket Day here at the ballpark. Same 2 teams do battle against each other. And game time tomorrow will be 1:30. Now Sykes kicks and deals, and Rivera takes the ball outside, 2-2. All youngsters 14 and under entering the park on a full-price ticket get a blue vinyl jacket tomorrow. Bounding ball to left. It'll be a hit. In between Mankowski and Trammell, and on at first with a one-out single is Rivera. Here comes Dan Ford, the right-hand batting center fielder. Each manager making numerous changes here this afternoon. Sykes won his third in a row against Boston here, the middle of May. But he's dropped the last two games, both to the Orioles since then. Man on first, one man out, no score, first inning. Ford hitting .316, and there's a toss over to first. Rivera back in time. Clouds obscuring the sun right now. Here's a step by Sykes, and the pitch is on the way. Ford swings, fly ball at the right field. Fairly deep, but Corcoran will have room. He's there. He has it. At the warning track, and the throw comes back to Whitaker. Well, the wind today is blowing in from left field. Coming almost down the left field foul line over the roof of the grandstand in left. Let's pause now briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Jimmy Lawrence leads your bunch to lunch. Monday through Friday mornings from 10 to noon here at America's great radio station, WJR Detroit.
Jose Morales, right-hand batter. He's the designated hitter for Gene Mock's team. Stepping in now. Gene has him in the number 4 slot in the lineup. Man on first, Rivera, 2 out, no score. Throw to first by Sykes, and Rivera gets back. Kusick is waiting on deck.
It's almost a balk move by Sykes on his throws to first. His foot doesn't go toward first.
Now the set and the pitch on the way. He takes the strike over. Got the outside corner. Steve Baker pitches for the Tigers tomorrow against Jeff Zahn of the Twins. There's a line foul out of play, first base side. Strike 2 the count.
That went off the facing of the upper deck, and a man reached out with a first baseman's glove just over the barrier and grabbed it.
Here comes the bright sun again. Strike 2 the count on Morales. No score in the first. Strikes delivers. There's a fly ball. It's to left field deep, but it'll go foul. Goes into the upper deck over past the Tiger bullpen. After this series is over tomorrow, the next Tiger action will be in Milwaukee Tuesday night. Wilcox against Sorensen. And then on Wednesday, Slayton against Augustine. On this homestand, the Tigers have won 3 and lost 2. And their win streak snapped last night at 3. Here's a pitch. It is a pitch out, but Rivera's holding on at first base. Thompson trying to keep him close over there. 1-2 the count on Morales. He swings the bounding ball wide at third. Grabbed by Mankowski. Throw to Whitaker. They get the force out on Rivera. And the side retired. The ball took a bad hop, but Mankowski able to follow it. And at the end of a half inning, Minnesota nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat.
WJR Director of Fine Arts, Carl Haas, concert pianist and musicologist, is your resident guide to Adventures in Good Music, a daily exploration of symphonic, opera, chamber music, oratorios, and tone poems that contribute to the world's treasure chest of great performances and the people responsible for them. Discussed in a personal way that makes listening and learning a daily delight, Adventures in Good Music may celebrate the birthday of Viva Vivaldi or usher in a new season with compositions written in tribute to a special time of the year. Flirtatious notes, a cheer for the Irish, and anthems incorporated. Those are but a few of the program themes brought to new light by Dr. Haas. Broaden your musical horizons with Adventures in Good Music. Afternoons at 2:10 here on WJR Radio 76.
folks who like fast-pitch softball, the Sarnia team, one of the top teams in southern Ontario, will meet Birch Gage in a doubleheader tonight at Kennedy Field in Southgate, starting at 7 o'clock. Well, you might want to go out there and see the softballers in action. Dave Gholtz, the big husky right-hander, 6'4", weighs about 205. Fella from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, tuning up now, ready to face the Tigers. No score last half of the first inning. We'd like to salute Harold and Pauline Miller of Oak Park, Michigan, celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on this date. Longtime Tiger fans. And a happy birthday to a gentleman from Roseville that we missed last night, Mr. Fred Lindroth. Happy birthday to Fred, who's rooted for the Tigers for many years. Here's Lou Whitaker getting his usual greeting as he steps in. Sweet Lou, up there among the batting leaders in the American League. Left-hand batter against the right-hander Gholtz. Whitaker batting .324, no home runs yet, 8 RBIs. Gholtz ready, delivers. It is a ball low as the last half of the first inning gets started. Great weather here in Detroit this afternoon. There's a bounding ball to short. Smalley to his left has it. Throw to first to Cusick. He's out. One up and one away. Here comes Phil Mankowski. Phil's wife Sue's got a job with a dentist now who works on Paul Carey. So I told him to tell Sue to give Paul the treatment when he cleans his teeth up there. Going to give you a little extra punch.
Yeah.
Here's the ball outside.
A little extra scrape. That's Dr. Latomsky. He's a Tiger fan who comes out here quite frequently.
The old, this won't hurt you much. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Mankowski batting .289. Still talking about settling here for the year-round residents. Here's the ball outside. 2-1 the count on him.
Well, he can't get any more snow here than he gets over around Buffalo.
I don't think you can get any anywhere when you do Buffalo. Unless you go way up. Here's a ball low. 3-1 on Mankowski. Gholtz on the mound, 1 out, nobody on, no score first inning. On the windup in the pit, swung on the bounding ball to second baseman Randall. He flips it over to Cusick, there 2 away. And the batter will be Rusty Staub. Staub batting .296. No score, 2 out, nobody on for the Tigers. Well, Rusty, the left-hand batting designated hitter waiting. Here's a pitch by Gholtz. It's a curve over but low, ball 1. Gholtz with a record of 1-3. This is his 6th start. Big guy delivers high and away, 2-0 on Staub. Now they're moving Smalley over to the right field side. He's back in right center field. And Staub takes a low one, 3-0. Only one man on the left side of the infield now. That's the third baseman, Wolf. He's a lone wolf over there. Here's the 3-0 pitch. It is a strike call. Randall is back on the grass in right field. Cusick is deep along the line at first. Staub takes ball 4. He walked him. That'll bring up Jason Thompson. Mr. Rooftop stepping up.
Well, no shift in the world can help you if it's a walk or a home run.
That's true. Can't defend against those two. Here's Thompson. He's hitting .287, 13 homers, and 30 runs batted in. Kusick not holding on the bag with Staub. He's playing behind him and between Staub and the base. Now backs up a little bit. Thompson fouls it away to the screen. Got a fastball around the knees and really didn't get much of it. Borgman working behind the bat. Wolf at third. Smalley at short. Randall at second. Kusick at first. Norwood in left. Ford in center. Rivera in right. No score, 2 out, 1 out for the Tigers in the opening inning. Second game of a 3-game series. Now, Gold steps and pitches. It is a breaking ball over. He's got a knuckle curve. Got that pitch over that time. Strike 2, the count on Thompson. Short lead for Staub at first base. Gultz is now ahead of the hitter with 2 strikes on him. Delivers. There's a bounding ball up the middle, and it is through for a hit. Staub making a turn, holds it second, up for the ball to the center field of Ford, flips it back into the middle of the diamond. The Tigers have 2 on and 2 out, and Kemp coming to bat. That was a half-speed grounder that got through the box and over second base.
Well, Jason has been hitting the ball hard at people of late and coming up with nothing, so he needs one like that.
Now, let's see if Kemp can deliver a man now. He's got an opportunity with 2 men on and 2 men out. The game is scoreless in the first. Steve batting .278, a couple of home runs and 19 runs batted in. Ron LaFleur out of action. Mickey Stanley playing center field for the Tigers today. Ron pulled a leg muscle. It's been sort of a chronic thing for him, but he hurt himself running to first base, running out a grounder last night. And he's sitting this one out. He may be ready for action tomorrow. Gultz in a little bit of trouble here in the opening inning. Facing the left-handed batting outfielder Kemp. And the pitch is a ball low. He checked his swing. Gene Mock came up the dugout steps and yelled something out to plate umpire Dale Ford. Thompson on first, Staub at second, and Kemp takes a curve at his wide, 2-0, the count on him. Waiting on deck is Milt May, another left-handed batter. The pitch is a ball outside. He's trying that curve toward the outside and not hitting the corner. Forget on Monday morning now, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's will meet Mumford in the consolation game to be followed by the city championship game between Birmingham Brother Rice and Cass Tech. Right here at Tiger Stadium on Monday. Here's a ball outside. Kemp, who leads the league in walks, gets one. And it will load them with Tigers and bring to bat Milt May in the first inning with 2 out. May batting .302, 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. 2 walks with a single in between, loading the bases with Tigers. Outfield around to right on May. And Gultz scraping around out there on the mound. May digging in at the plate. Staub, Thompson, and Kemp ready to run. The pitch is a ball wide, a fastball on Milt. Trying to keep him from pulling the ball. He threw that one very wide. Big right-hand pitcher, Gultz, looks in to get his sign from Boardman. Now steps and pitches. It is outside, ball 2, 2-0 to count on May. Steps out the slab and rubbed up the ball a little bit. Now, May not quite ready to get back in there. Only his second time out since the 21st of April for Gultz. He pitches. It is a strike. He hit the outside corner with that one. Gultz in his lifetime against the Tigers has won 5 and lost 2. Tigers the only team he didn't face last year. Waiting on a 2-1 pitch now is Milt May with the bases loaded. No score. The pitch is swung on and fouled away to the screen. 2-2 the count on May with 2 outs. Don't forget, tomorrow is Free Jacket Day here at the ballpark, and the young right-hander who has pitched so well so far, Steve Baker, work on the mound against Jeff Dawn of the Minnesota Twins, University of Michigan product. 2-2 the count on May. Gulch is ready, delivers. Here's a swing and a fly ball to center. Should be caught. Ford is there. He has it, and the side retired. No runs on 1 hit, a couple of walks, no errors, 3 are left. That's the end of 1. Minnesota nothing, Detroit nothing.
Too little. Oh. Well, the champion Tiger of the month for the month of May is Milt Wilcox. During May, Wilcox had 5 complete games, including a couple of shutouts. He won 4 of 5 decisions and had an earned run average of 1.97. Congratulations, Milt, from Champion Sparkplug and WJR. Well, the Minnesota Twins have made a change in their personnel on their pitching staff. They've called up left-hander Darrell Jackson, joining them from Orlando, where he had won 4 and lost 3, but had a fine earned run average of 1.79 in 10 games, all of them starts. He's out of Arizona State, which has been a great producer of Major League Baseball talent, and was the Twins' 9th pick in the June draft of 1977.
Tom Campbell, Gene Healy, and Bill Nordstrom update your morning with the news you need to know for your day. Join them here on WJR Radio 76.
Paul and I really enjoy hearing from you folks out there. We got a nice letter here from Mr. S.J. Oliver of Monroe, Michigan, and he recalls one of Harry Heilman's favorite stories about G. Walker. G was on first and took what he thought was a golden opportunity to put his head down and took off for the second base, sliding in the cloud of dust. He looked up and saw a teammate standing on second like he owned it, which he did. "Where are you going?" he asked of G. "Back to first if I can make it," was Walker's answer, and he didn't make it. Here's the pitch to Kusick, and it is a ball low to the big right hand hitting first baseman. Bob Sykes kicks and deals, and Kusick takes a low one in close. 2-0 the count on him.
I was interested in your story on G. Walker the other night because I was just like every other Tiger fan. As a young kid, I idolized G. Walker.
Yes, sir, I guess just about everybody did, and he was not the star player as far as the records were concerned, but everybody loved him. 3-0 now the count on Kusick. He's hitting an even 200 for the year. And Texas strikes. Sykes got a fastball over. Bobby Randall waiting on deck. There's a curve that hits the mark, 3-2.
Trying to remember who the Tigers traded. Did they get Barney McCoskey for Walker?
No, that was the George Kell deal, I believe. There's a bounding ball to third. Throw over to first, and he got him. Well, G was traded a good bit earlier than McCoskey.
Yeah, that's right. Because
in the early 30s, yeah.
Because I was a fan of Barney McCoskey's, and I presented the deal for George Kell at the time. And I didn't like it when they traded away George.
Right. Here's Bobby Randall at the plate now. Bob hitting .263, no home runs at 8 RBIs. Young man who makes his home in Albuquerque takes a strike call. One out, no score, second inning. Randall swings, the line drive center field. Here comes Stanley, won't get it. Plays it on one hop, and Randall is on with a single. That's the second hit for the Twins, and each has come with one out in the first 2 innings. Larry Wolf, the third baseman, stepping up now. Wolf hitting .220 in 25 games. Young Floridian, he hails from Melbourne. First joined the Twins last year. He got into only 8 games with them. Spent most of the year at Charleston. Sykes makes that move to first base. Not in time as the runner Randall got back fairly easily. No score, second inning. The Twins at bat. The Tigers in double play depth on him. And the pitch is a ball in too close. Ball 1. Borgman waiting on deck. Stretch again, and the runner goes. The pitch is outside. May's throw into Whitaker. He is safe. The tough play for Whitaker. The runner had a good jump on May. Milt's throw was in the dirt, and Whitaker made a good pickup, but he really didn't have time to get the ball down on the runner. So it'll be a stolen base for Randall.
Randall slid in right underneath the ball as it hopped up to the glove of Whitaker.
One of the tough parts about playing second base is covering the bag and also being the pivot man on that double play. The runner comes to you more or less from the side or from behind rather than straight on as the shortstop sees him. Here's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 now, the count on Wolf. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gets the message to Charlie Labat out there. He's got 3-1. It's 2-1, Charlie. Here's the pitch. Swung on a line shot. Center field may get a run in. Here comes Randall racing around third. He'll score on the up-the-middle single off the bat of Larry Wolf, and the Twins jump in front, 1-0. Came right through the box there and almost hit the pitcher's sight. Here's Glenn Borgman coming to bat. Man on first, 1 man down. The pitch to Borgman is in too close on Glenn, ball 1. Big catcher hitting .219. They've got that infield again in double play depth for Detroit. It's a high one, and the count is 2-0. Man on first, 1 man out, 2-0 pitch. Borgman takes a very wide fastball, 3-0. The Dodgers and the Phillies had started. There are no score in the second inning at Philly. The only other score posted here. All they've got Atlanta, Chicago, 0-0 at the end of 1. 1-0 here in the second. Minnesota leads. Here's a curve high. He walked him. Norwood will be the batter. This is the left fielder, Willie Norwood. Played part of the season last year with the Twins, 39 games. Native of Alabama, but makes his home now in Long Beach, California. It is a strike above the knees. Two men on, 1 man down. 1-0 Twins leading the Tigers. Smalley waits on deck. Sykes ready, delivers, and Willie looks at the ball high, 1-1. Here it comes. He takes a curve in for a strike. 1-2. Weatherman's really been good to us this weekend. Looks like great weather. Come on out and join us tomorrow. It'll be Free Jacket Day here at Tiger Stadium. Game time 1:30 tomorrow. We'll bring that one to you right here where you are now. Here's the pitch. It is a ball low fastball, 2-2. Tigers don't play on Monday. They'll be back in action Tuesday night over in Milwaukee. Tuesday and Wednesday. And then come home for a Friday night game with Kansas City. Moving in next weekend. Sykes is ready, holds it at the belt, checks his runners, 2-2 pitch. And Norwood swings and strikes out. That'll be the first strikeout for Bob Sykes, the Tiger pitcher. Here's Smalley, the switch batter batting right-handed. He fouled out to Thompson his first trip. It's a fastball outside from Bob Sykes. Man on second, a man on first, 1 run in. Twins lead the Tigers in the second inning, 1-0. Tigers loaded the bases in the first and didn't score after 2 are out. Now Sykes delivers. Here's a line shot to left field. That'll get a run in. Rounding third and headed home is Wolf. Borgman goes into third. Here's the throw to second. Smalley slides in safe. It's a double. And a 2-0 lead for the Twins. And Ralph Houck is not walking from the dugout. He's trotting from the Tiger dugout up to the mound. He has nobody in the bullpen at the moment. Smalley doubles in a run. 2-0 Twins lead. While they make a little conference out there at the mound, we'd like to remind you folks, we do get requests from time to time about birthdays and wedding anniversaries, and have to restrict the announcements. The birthdays are restricted to those who have reached the age of 90. If you've got a 90th birthday you want us to talk about, that's all right. Below that, we're not supposed to. Our wedding anniversaries, the cutoff point is 50. 50 wedding anniversaries or more. So here's Bombo Rivera coming to bat now. The conference is over. Foucault starts to throw in the bullpen. Bombo hits a bounding ball to third. Glove by Mankowski. Good pickup. Throw to first to save further damage. And the inning is over. However, the Twins pick up a couple. They get 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. There were no errors. 2 runners are left at the end of 1 1/2 innings. Twins 2, Detroit 0.
You're at bat in the Labatt Baseball Trivia Game. Here's the pitch. Name the pitcher who threw a perfect no-hitter in the 1956 World Series. Why not take time out and think about it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer? Using an unusual no-wind-up delivery, Don Larson of the Yankees gained immortality when he retired 27 Dodgers in a row to give New York a 2-0 win. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Calls for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Well, the Tigers come to bat now, and the second they find themselves trailing 2-0 behind the Twins. Tim Corcoran, Mickey Stanley, and Alan Trammell, the 3 scheduled batters here, they're the bottom 3 in the batting order, will be facing Goat, the big right-hander of Minnesota. Corcoran really pulling out of that batting spin that he started in. He's now batting .269. No home runs and 10 runs batted in. Tigers have 3 batters in their batting order without home runs this year. Corcoran, 1 of the 3. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball low. The other 2 is Stanley and Whitaker. 2 runs, 4 hits for Minnesota. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. Neither teams made a bobble yet. And Gulch delivers. It is a strike call. 1-1 on Corky. Stanley waiting on deck for the Tigers. Now the motion and the pitch on the way. He takes a strike. 1-2 to count. Wolf, the third baseman, backs up and goes a little bit more to the glove side off the bag. Here's the pitch. Very wide, 2-2. Had a nice chat with Mike Marshall before the ball game. Mike says it's been quite a while since he's been in this ballpark. Here's the motion, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and this struck him out. That was a big curve. It broke in at the hands. And now Stanley will be the batter. Hitting .250 in 8 games. That's 3 for 12. He has 1 extra base hit, a double. The veteran on the team, Mickey Stanley. Always a very popular figure here at Tiger Stadium. Serving in his 15th year with the Tigers. Outfield is straight away on the right-hand batting Stanley. 1 out, none on. He takes a fastball from Gulch. It's over, but low, ball 1. Stanley in his career with the Tigers has played everywhere but pitcher or catcher. Swing, and he fouls it away to the screen. A 1-1 on Mickey.
And there was one time in his career when he was a mighty fine thrower, too. Or he kind of wrecked his arm, 68.
Had a great arm, and he injured in spring training, started kidding around down there, throwing, overextending at one time. Little tap foul at the plate, 1-2. Mickey's arm has come back a little bit over the last couple of years, but it's, as you say, it's certainly not what it once was. Trammell is waiting on deck. 1 out, nobody on. The Tigers trail in this one in the early innings. 2-0. We're in the second. Stanley swings and fouls it in the dirt behind the plate. With 2 out in the opening inning, Staub walked, Thompson, Siegel, and Kemp walked below the bases. Then Gulch got May on a fly to center field to stave off the threat. Now the Tigers up again. Here's a pitch in too close. He fell away from an inside curve. 2-2 on Mickey Stanley. Mickey's best seasonal average in that long Tiger career was 292 in 1971. Here's a swing and a foul tip. Bounce back at the plate. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Warren Pierce is ready to give you a line, 875-4476, your direct line to involvement in entertainment. Weekday nights at 7 here on WJR Radio 76 Detroit.
Stanley waits on 2-2. Here it comes. He takes the ball as Gulch missed the outside corner with a fastball. That one was fairly close. Gulch not only throws a knuckle curve, he's got a good sinker off that fastball. Native of Pelican Rapids, Minnesota, delivers. Here's a tap foul, back of the plate again. Stanley hanging in there. One sounded like a rock when it hit the bat. Gulch, I would imagine, would be a tough pitcher to catch. He probably throws a heavy ball. And that sinker and that knuckle curve to go along with it. Now the full count again on Stanley. Here's the pitch. Swing and a bounding ball to right. It'll be a hit. He punches a single on the ground between Randall and Cusick. And the Tigers have a man on, the man out. Stanley getting the second Detroit hit. Both have been singles. Here's Trammell. Allen hitting .286. He has 1 home run to his credit this year. And 8 runs batted in. Another right-hander to face the right-hander, man at first, Stanley. And Trammell looked at a strike, a belt-high fastball, broke over. Outfield a little bit to right on Alan Trammell. The infield and double play depth on him. Throw to first, Stanley back in time, reaching for the base with his left hand. Nice sunshiny Saturday in Detroit. Hope the weather's good wherever you are. There's another throw to first. He's back in time. 2-0. Twins lead it. They picked up 2 in the second off Bob Sykes. Trammell takes the curve low and away. 1-1. Galt sets and pitches. It is a strike above the knees on the outside corner. Waiting on deck is Whitaker. Now Stanley not getting much of a lead at first base. 1-2 pitch. Trammell fouls it away. That one came back and hit the umpire Ford on the foot. Throw from his umpiring position got by the pitcher Galt, and a few boos and jeers from the folks here. Cusick holding on the bag with Stanley. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Trammell takes the curve in too close. 2-2. 2-0. Twins lead the Tigers. Throw to first. Stanley back again. Galt's rubbing up the ball a little bit out there on the mound. Been around the pro ranks now since 1967. Here's a pitch. He takes the ball high, and it is a full count on Alan Trammell. Up until last year, Galt had never won more than 14 games, but last year he reached the 20 mark in victories. Keep an eye on Stanley, edges off a little bit. He goes, the pitch is high, ball 4, and Trammell works him for a walk. Galt's not very happy with himself. That's the 3rd walk he's issued, and here comes Lou Whitaker. Tigers have 2 on and 1 down. They loaded the bases in the opening inning and did not score. First time up, Whitaker bounced to shortstop, Smalley. Sweet Lou stepping in now. Infield halfway up on him, and he takes a curve that hangs outside of ball 1. After Whitaker, Bankowski, and then Rusty Staub. Cut and a miss on a hard one toward the outside, 1-1. Norwood is shallow in left field on Lou Whitaker. Set the pitch, swung on a bounding ball to left, it'll be a hit. Rounding third, Stanley, he's headed home. Norwood bobbles the ball, it gets behind him. Here's the throw back into the diamond, and Whitaker ends up at second, and Trammell takes the rear with Stanley scoring. 2-1 Minnesota. It'll be a single for Whitaker, an RBI, and an error charged to Willie Norwood, who overran the ground ball after it got through the infield. So Whitaker has a single and takes second on the error. And the Tigers have scored to cut the lead to 2-1. They've got runners at second and third and 1 man down. Mankowski will be the batter. looks at a strike. Gult's got a fastball over on film. Bounced to second the first time at bat. Phil Mankowski, left-hander batting third baseman. Infield is not in close on him right now. 2-1 Twins lead, second inning. He swings, fly ball, deep right field, going back to Rivera. He'll make the catch, but the run will score. Here's a tag by Trammell. He's coming home. Whitaker takes third. The game tied at 2-2. Man on third, 2 down. RBI sacrifice for Phil Mankowski, getting the tying run across the plate. Now the lead run at third with 2 down, and Rusty Staub at the bat. Rusty drew a walk with 2 out in the opening inning. Gultz is ready, sets and pitches. Staub takes a fastball outside. 2-2, tied up. Second inning. Twins got 2. The Tigers come back with 2. Thompson is on deck. Gultz delivers. It is a strike. He pushed the curve over, 1-1. Joe Pepitone out at the ball game today, talking to his old Yankee manager, Ralph Houk. Here's a ball outside on Rusty, 2-1.
Joe looks a little wild, doesn't he?
Huh?
Joe looks a little wild, too, doesn't he? Got a beard growing.
2-1 the count on Rusty Staub.
He's in with the softballers.
Set the pitch on the way. He takes a wide one. That's 3-1 now. Whitaker on third, not venturing down the line very far right now. The set on the pitch. Left him. It was outside. Staub gets his second walk. That's the 4th walk issued by Gultz in less than 2 innings, and now Jason Thompson coming up. Jason hit a ground single up the middle his only trip, 1 for 1. Runners at first and third with 2 down. Let's see. Here comes somebody out. Camilo Pascual. Yep, that's who it is. Pitching coach. Got a little word or two to say to Gultz.
You saw that man throw a lot of pitches, didn't you? I say you saw that man throw a lot of pitches.
Oh, I saw him. He was a great pitcher. Had excellent control and a fantastic curveball, Camilo did. Had some fine years with the old Washington team, and then they moved to Minnesota. Well, he's imparted a few words of wisdom now to the pitcher Gultz. And Thompson waiting. Here's a pitch. It is a strike. He got a breaking ball over it. After Thompson, it'll be Kemp. 2-2 tie, second inning. Gultz slowing up on his pitching pace out there. Sets and deals. Here's a strike, another breaking ball. He's picked up 2 quick ones on Thompson in this situation, both on breaking pitches. Staub at first, Whitaker at third, 2 down. The game tied 2-2. It's the second inning. And Jason swings and pops it up. It should end the inning. It's a high pop-up between the mound and the third base foul line. Wolf is there and has it for the out. Well, that retires the Tigers, but they tie the game on 2 runs, 2 hits. Now, there were 2 walks, 1 error, and 2 runners are left on base. At the end of 2, Tigers 2, Minnesota 2.
There's a big M sign round the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine you all know what someone should be glad to see.
You know, there's a special additive at your nearby marathon station. Something that can add value to your life and the life of your car. Something you can get only at your marathon station. What it is your marathon man. Because your marathon man is somebody who believes it's not old-fashioned to give people what they pay for, but a little bit more. He's there to do it better and do it the way he'd want it done if he were you. If you don't already know him, well, it's really awesome. Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
Hi, this is Tom Watson. I'll be attending the 6th Annual J.P. McCarthy Wabig Powell Invitational. I hope to see you there.
Two-two deadlock. We go to the third inning on a Saturday afternoon in Detroit, and Dan Ford will lead off against Bob Sykes. Ford hit a fly ball to the right fielder Cochran the first time he batted. Outfield deep and straight away. Morales will bat after him, and then it'll be Cusick. Cleveland leads Milwaukee at the end of 1, 2-0 at Milwaukee. Sykes delivers. It is a strike call to fastball. Up the outside corner. Twins, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Tigers, 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Nice breeze blowing in from left. He swings and misses. He's trying to punch that ball to the opposite side. Each team picked up a pair of runs in the second inning after failing to score in the first. Twins have left 3 men on. The Tigers have left 5 men on in the first 2 innings. A lot of traffic on the bases already. There's a ball outside, 1 and 2. Wind up in the pitch. He swings and it's a foul ball that went off his foot. He's going to have to get one of those abbreviated shin guards. Covich was wearing one last night. Trying to walk it off now. Ford walking around in a semicircle near the plate, looking down at his left foot. 1 and 2 the count on him. Outfield deep and straight away on Dan Ford. Right-handed batter waits on a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a foul upstairs. And then down below, one of our upper deck outfielders must not have been able to handle that one. That one was right above our booth. Now he digs it again. 1 and 2 the count on Ford. Here's the motion by Sykes. He pitches outside. He didn't chase that one. 2-2. Dodgers in the Phillies third inning, no score. Atlanta, Chicago, third inning. They're tied 2-2. Wide again, making a full count. In that Dodger game, it is Sutton against Christensen. At Chicago, Necro against Burris. Kingman hit a home run in that game, his 10th. And Cleveland, Milwaukee, Paxton against Augustine. Bounding ball, deep second, big hop for Whitaker, deep. Throws to first, got him. And there's one away with Morales stepping in, hit into a fourth out on the ground ball to third, his first inning. All the Tiger outs defensively have been made by the infielders. 1 strikeout racked up for Sykes. One fly ball off the bat of fourth to Corcoran in the first inning. That's the only one not in the infield. Now the motion and the pitch on the way. He takes a low one, ball one. Twins 2, Tigers 2. Mighty happy you're tuned our way here in the third inning. 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss. Morales, the premier pinch hitter. Didn't get hold of that one, and the count is 1-1 on him. Kusick is waiting on deck. Morales not quite ready to get in. He's got to adjust the batting glove. Standing deep, bent at the knees, waiting. Here's the motion and the pitch. Swing a line drive, speared by Trammell, the shortstop. A leaping grab to his right. He pushed his glove across the body and stabbed that one. Kusick bats now with 2 down and nobody on. Craig bounced to shortstop. Trammell his first trip. Big right-hand batter takes the ball wide. Ball one from Bob Sykes. Sykes, who had won 4 and lost none at Evansville before he was brought up, now delivers a low curve 2-0 at Kusick. Belmar, New Jersey is Bob Sykes' hometown. Born in Neptune. There's a pitch into close 3-0. Tigers picked him number 19 in their free agent draft of 74, Bob Sykes. Kicks and deals, and it is a strike called on Kusick, 3-1. Swings and a pop-up over on the right side of the infield. Whitaker calling for it, having trouble now. He's behind Thompson and makes a catch. Nothing across in the Twin third. The Tigers bat in the third inning. Detroit 2, Minnesota 2.
I bought an economy car. Nice little car. Of course, I had to give up big car rides. I just bought a small car, too. I gave up a lot of driving areas. But the prices went up and up. I figured you got to give up. Well, I didn't give up. I bought a new Plymouth Volare 4-door. And I didn't give up the things I want. I got the big car ride Frank gave up, the room for 6 Harry gave up, plus the compact economy they didn't give up. So why didn't they buy a Volare? I gave up.
No compromise, no compromise. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Volare 4-door with manual transmission at 28 miles per gallon highway and 20 cities. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Volare.
For a great value on Plymouth Volare, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Two tie, third inning. Afternoon game here at Tiger Stadium on a bright Saturday. Right now, the clouds obscuring the sunshine a little bit. It'll be Kemp to lead off for the Tigers against the Goats. Then May and Corcoran will follow. Each team picking up a couple of runs in the second inning. Don't forget to pick up a Tiger yearbook when you come out here. The Tiger yearbook is for sale by the vendors and at the concession stands here at Tiger Stadium. 78 yearbook is quite an edition. They sold out the early edition, and they've brought on another one now. It's $1.50 at the ballpark and the magazine stands, and $2 through the mail. Bounding ball foul down to Dick Suzuki, the first base coach. If you all want to order a yearbook by the mail, you send $2 with your name and address to a yearbook, Tiger Stadium, Detroit, Michigan, 48216. 2-2 tie. Kemp at the plate. And he swings as a fly ball left center. Norwood racing over. Zaire has it as he went to his left to make the catch. So there's one up and one away, and here comes Milt May. Ney with the bases loaded and 2 out in the opening inning. Fly to center field. That Dodger-Philly game is in the 4th inning. They're still without a score there at Philadelphia. Bounding ball on the right side. Randall has it. Here's the throw to Cusick. 2 out in a hurry. Nobody on the bases, and the next strike of the bat will be Corcoran. Corky struck out the first time. That's Goltz's only strikeout. He struck out 1 and walked 4 and allowed 3 hits. The 3 Tiger hits have all been singles. Left-hand batting Corcoran at the plate, and he takes the ball outside ball 1. There's the ball outside, and the count is 2-0. Two runs, 3 hits for Detroit, 2 runs, 4 hits for Minnesota. Swing and a fly ball hit to the left, should be caught with ease. Norwood is there waiting. Hits in his glove, and the Tigers go down 1, 2, 3 in their third. At the end of 3, Tigers 2, Twins 2.
If you drive along the highway or make tracks across the snow, even biking across the country, Champion is the way to go. If you soar across the skyway or go cruising out to sea, if you're into racing go-kart, Champion is the plug you need. You can't buy a better plug, can't rely on a better plug. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all.
If your lawn gets longer in the time it takes you to start your power mower, replace that old worn spark plug with a fresh Champion plug. A fresh Champion can give your power mower faster starts and better performance all season long. And you'll have the time to enjoy summer that much more. Remember, you can't buy a better plug than Champion.
You can't buy a better plug, can't rely on a better plug. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all. For any engine, big or small, Champion sparks them all.
This is Jim Garrett. Need help sorting out a problem? Call Dialogue, 881-0270. Dialogue.
We've got a tie game here, 2-2, going into the 4th inning. Each team picking up a couple of runs in the second. Bob Randall will lead off for the Minnesota team in the 4th. Let's tune in now on Paul Caring.
All right, Ernie, thank you. 4 hits for the Twins, 3 hits for the Tigers. The Twins have committed an error that I think helped the Tiger cause, although I don't think the box score is going to show it. It appeared to me that Alan Trammell was going to hold at second base when Norwood overran the ball on the hit by Whitaker to left, but then sprinted on to third, and he was able to score on the sacrifice fly by Mankowski that tied the game. Up high for a ball. Randall singled to center with 1 down on the second inning. The pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. Now Sykes ready, kicks and delivers. Pop foul coming back on the screen. May coming back, but he won't get this one. And it came off the side of the screen and down below our microphone. Now down there where Mr. Robert Angus is sitting, the man who sang the national anthem here today. Randall, Wolf, and Borgman, the first 3 scheduled batters for the Twins here in the 4th inning. A pitch from Sykes. High and wide. Bob has not looked particularly sharp. I've been able to have his pinpoint control thus far this afternoon. Has gotten behind some batters and had to come in. The pitch. Swung on a little looper out toward short. Racing back is Trammell. He makes the catch. Nice catch by Allen, who got a good jump on that ball. One of those might be Texas leaguers, but Trammell got back there in a hurry. Well, there's one down in the fourth inning. The batter will be Wolf. Wolf, a good-looking third baseman. Tigers saw a bit of him in spring training. He singled in a run for the Twins in the second inning. A windup in the pitch. Swung on, a drive deep to left field. That's going to be trouble. Kemp goes back to the warning track, looks up. It is gone just over the fence. A home run for Larry Wolf. His first of the season, and it will be, I believe, yes, his first major league home run. And it comes here at Tiger Stadium to break the 2-2 tie. The Twins in front 3-2 on the bases empty homer by Larry Wolf. Wolf has driven in a pair of runs with a single and a home run. His first major league homer here. There's Glenn Borgman at the plate. And it's a ball to Borgman, low and inside. 3-2, the Twins in front now in the fourth inning. He hit that one into the wind blowing in from left field. Strike called on Big Glenn. Well, the pitch from Sykes outside for a ball, 1-1. Borgman, 6'2", 210-pounder. Swings, bounces one to third. Good hop for Mankowski to throw. He got him at first. There are two away. And before Norwood bats, let's take time right here to pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tigers Baseball Network.
Jay Roberts joins you as you meet your new Dave on Night Flight 76, evenings at 11:30 here on the Goodwill Station, WJR Radio 76, Detroit.
The pitch to Norwood. He checks his swing on a fastball outside. Now Sykes winds and delivers. With a low 2-0 on Norwood. Norwood had one game in the Pacific Coast League last year and was immediately called up because of some injuries on the Twins, but used sparingly, went back to Tacoma. He lines one. Trammell can't get it. It's in the left center field. A base hit for Norwood. Picked up by Stanley in left center, and Norwood is on with a 2-out single. That'll be hit number 6 for the Twins. But Norwood went back out to the Pacific Coast League and tore things up. He hit .412 out there, and we saw some of that hitting just now from Willie. And late in the year with the Twins, he hit .340 and pretty much won himself a job as a result of his work in September of last year with Minnesota. Now here's Roy Smalley, who has doubled in a run, 1 for 2 for Roy. Throw to first by Sykes, and backhand first is Norwood. Norwood has probably the best speed on the Minnesota Ball Club. He's stolen 12 bases so far this season. Sykes is conscious of him over there. The pitch to the plate, Norwood goes. It's a grounder to short, cut off by Mankowski. The throw to first, got him at first, and that's all for the Twins. However, the Twins pick up a run on the homer by Wolf to break the tie. 1 run, 2 hits. No errors. They leave a man. The Tigers come to bat in their half of the fourth inning. It's now Minnesota 3, Detroit 2.
Little Caesar Pizza, tastiest in town. A winner anyway slices all the way around. Cherry nuts are good enough for your nighttime snacks. Sit down at Little Caesars, just order and relax.
Big things are happening at Little Caesars. When you're hungry for some thick, juicy pizza with chewy cheese, spicy sauce, and freshly baked crust, try Little Caesars. It's a treat that's hard to beat. Buy 1 medium pizza and get the second one free. Just clip out the 2-for-1 free pizza coupon from your local newspaper or TV book. You won't have to come back for seconds because you'll get them free the first time around. Little Caesars. A winner any way you slice it.
If you want variety, there's a family in for you. It's the winners of the Little Caesars.
Along with Ernie Howell, this is Paul Carey at Tiger Stadium, Game 2 of the series between the Tigers and Twins. Tigers had that three-game winning streak snapped last night when the Twins held on to beat Detroit 4-2. And they lead the Tigers 3-2 now as Detroit comes to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Mickey Stanley leading it off. Mickey reached out, punched a single to right his first time up. Stanley was a late replacement for Ron LaFleur in center field in today's lineup. Ron having that hamstring muscle pull occurred in the game against the Orioles earlier in the week, and he seemed to aggravate it last night. And that's the first game LaFleur has missed starting in center field this year. Two other Tigers have played in every game, or appeared in every game. Three others, in fact. Jason Thompson, Steve Kemp, and Rusty Staub. There's a windup in the pitch. There's a strike called on Stanley. Schultz winds, delivers. Ground ball to the left side. Grabbed by Smalley deep in the hole. The throw to first, and it's in time to get Mickey. A great play by Smalley, taking a base hit away from Stanley. Backhanding the ball deep in the hole, and he got something on the throw. It was one skip to first, but Cusick did the job at first and pulled it out of the dirt. Oh, there's one down in the fourth inning. Looked like that was headed to left field. Here's Alan Trammell, who walked his first time up. Schultz ready, fires to Trammell, and it's a strike. Now the windup, the pitch. Swung on, a drive to center field. Backing up into his left is Ford. He's there, pounds on it, has it. And there are two down in the Tiger fourth inning. That'll bring up the top of the batting order. Lou Whitaker. Lou has 1 for 2 today. He's bounced to short and then singled in a Tiger run, grounding to left field in the second inning. Whitaker now has hit safely in 9 straight games and in 21 of his last 22 games. There's a fly ball to left center field. Backing up is Ford. He's under it. Makes the catch, and that's all for Detroit. In the fourth inning, they go down 1-2-3 after 4 innings of play. The Twins 3, the Tigers 2.
Can you afford to throw money away at the supermarket, in your car, where you bank? City National Bank knows every nickel counts. That's why there's a big difference between City National and those other banks that charge you for writing checks.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
City National Bank saves you money again with combo checking. Keep a minimum of $200 in checking or savings. You write all your checks without charge. All your checks without charge. Combo checking. No other bank in Michigan has it. No statement fees. No charge for checks. Don't throw your money away on annoying service charges on checks. Come on in and open a City National Bank charge-free combo checking account now.
You got it? Nobody has City National Bank.
Also available at National Bank of Rochester and First Citizens Bank in Troy.
Radio 76 salutes Jim George, recently promoted to the position of Vice President of Melody Farms of Livonia. Congratulations, Jim, from WJR Radio.
Coming up to the top of the fifth inning at Tiger Stadium, Bombo Rivera, Dan Ford, and Jose Morales, the 3 scheduled batters here in this fifth against Bob Sykes. Sykes has walked 1, struck out 1, and has given up 6 hits to the Twins, including a homer by Wolf in the fourth inning that has lifted the Twins into their 3-2 lead. Rivera, the man who saved the game for Minnesota last night, 1 for 2. He singled in the first inning. Basically an outfielder. He's played some third base in his career. They pitch to him. Low, ball 1. Now the pitch to Rivera. He takes a half swing, and it's a strike. 1-1 on Bombo. His real name is Jesus, and he comes from Puerto Rico. Right-hand batter waiting on Sykes. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled off the chest protector of plate umpire Dale Ford. Steve Baker, the young Tiger right-hander, will go against Jeff Zahn in the windup of this series tomorrow afternoon on Jacket Day at Tiger Stadium. First big gift day of the year. A very popular gift day. Originated a couple of seasons ago. A 1-2 pitch. Lined up the middle into center field. A base hit for Rivera. Stanley waits on the hopper. And Rivera is on with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. It'll be a 1:30 start time for Jacket Day tomorrow, and that means Ernie's pregame show will be on the air at 1:15 in case you can't join us here at the ballpark. Here's Dan Ford. 0 for 2 so far today. Ford has flied to right and bounced out to second. Checking with Carl Keel, the third base coach of the Twins, before stepping into the batter's box. Rivera has good speed. He was a one-time 100-yard dash champion in Puerto Rico. Look to first by Sykes. The pitch. Swung on and popped in the air to right field. Corcoran flips down the glasses, shielding his eyes with his gloves, having a little trouble, but makes the catch. And Rivera returns to first. Ford trying to punch that ball to right, got underneath it. Now there's one down in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Morales. He's DHing today for Gene Mock's Twins, and Morales is 0 for 2. He has grounded into a force out and lined to Trammell, who made a fine leaping catch. Steve Foucault is beginning to throw in the bullpen for the Tigers. A little early to see Steve up. Rivera has a good-sized lead at first and draws a throw, but he's back. Morales waiting on Sykes. The set. The pitch to the plate. Outside. Morales taking a little time getting back into the batter's box. Now he's ready. Here's the pitch from Sykes. Swung on, line foul into the lower deck behind first. Only one other American League game going at this time, and that is in Milwaukee, where the Indians are playing the Brewers. Paxton for the Indians against Augustine of Milwaukee. In the 2nd inning, the Indians leading it 2-0. Cleveland rallied to beat the Brewers last night in the late innings. Go to first, and back again easily is Rivera. Another game coming up yet today out in Oakland. The A's host the Yankees. The pitch from Sykes. The runner goes. It's bounced to first. Thompson has only one play. That's at first, where he'll make it unassisted. It was a high hopper, and Rivera easily made it to second. He was running on the pitch. So there are 2 down with Rivera at second, and the batter will be Cusick. Big Craig is 0 for 2. He has grounded to third and popped to second. All 3 Eastern Division teams that are playing out on the West Coast that were playing there late last night came through with victories. Baltimore winning at Seattle, Boston at California, and the Yankees at Oakland. 2 out, runner at second. The pitch from Sykes. Up high with a fast one. The Twins lead it 3-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Sykes looks back to second. The pitch to the plate. Over but low. 2-0 now on Cusick. Big right-hand batter waiting. He swings, lines one down the left field line. That'll be in for a base hit, and it will score a run. Heading home is Rivera. The throw to second, Cusick holds at first as he drives in another Minnesota run to make it 4-2 here in the top of the fifth inning. And Ralph Houck has come out of the Tiger dugout, walking slowly to the mound. Sykes, as was the case in his last outing on Monday against the Baltimore Orioles, is not fooling too many today. His control has not been particularly sharp. He has fallen behind the hitters. That was a 2-0 pitch that time that Cusick lined down the left field line, driving in Rivera from second base. And so we're going to get a pitching change right here. Foucault coming on perhaps as early as I can recall coming out of the bullpen. Steve has been inhibited a bit by a pulled muscle, but he's coming on to take over here in the fifth inning for Bob Sykes. Ernie?
Well, we've got a few other scores for you, not too many, because there are a lot of night games in both the major leagues tonight. Cleveland leading Milwaukee 2-1 at the end of 2. Paxton against Augustine, that game in Milwaukee. New York and Oakland is scheduled in an afternoon game that'll start a little bit later on. And all the other games in the American League are scheduled for tonight. In the National League, at the end of 4 innings, the Phils and the Dodgers are still scoreless. Sutton and Christensen locked in a pitching duel in that one. Atlanta at Chicago. And the Cubs are leading in that one.
Fires to the plate. It's low. Ball 1. Bob Randall batting. Foucault relieving Bob Sykes here in the fifth inning with a man at first and a run in. 2 down. 4-2. The Twins in front of the Tigers. Set by Steve. He delivers. Low curve in for a strike. Randall was 1 for 2. He singled his first time up. Foukie has not worked since the 20th of May. He pitched here against the Red Sox. The pitch to the plate. A butt down the third base line up beauty. Mankowski barehanded has no play as Randall beats out a perfect bunt single. Well, the Twins bunting on Foucault. Randall on with a bunt single, moving Cusick up to second. And it brings up Larry Wolf, who has liked Tiger Stadium thus far in his first visit here. Singled in a run in the second inning and homered in the fourth, his first major league home run. Set by Foucault, the pitch to Wolf. Over his head, he took a seat in the dirt. Three singles here in the Twins' fifth inning, producing another run. They've got runners at first and second with 2 down. The pitch from Foucault. Wolf swings, fly ball, deep left center field. That could be trouble again. Kemp racing back to the fence, looks up, and he won't get this one. Same spot, a 3-run homer by Larry Wolf, who stopped as he headed towards second base. Wasn't sure about it because he wasn't sure whether he was going to be running up the heels of somebody. It was out of here. A 3-run homer for Larry Wolf, and it lifts the Minnesota lead to 7-2. Wolf with a big smile on his face as he heads back toward the Twins dugout. Clapping hands down there, and the Twins are breaking it wide open here in the fifth inning. Wolf with back-to-back home runs in his last 2 trips, and a run-producing single the other time up. That one got over the same spot, the lower deck, just over the fence out of the reach of Kemp in left center. Here's Glenn Boardman. Fastball inside for a ball. Wolf has driven in 5 runs in this ball game. The pitch from Foucault strikes. There's a strike in above the knees. Nobody on, 2 out, but 4 runs in here in the Twins' fifth inning. Slow curve tapped off the other bat. Fielded by Foucault to flip the first. He got him. And that finally retires the Twins in the 5th inning. But a very big inning for them as the Twins pick up 4 runs on 4 hits. No Tiger errors and nobody left on base. Tigers come up in their half of the 5th inning with the score now, Minnesota 7, Detroit 2.
You know, there are some basics in life that are important to most people. One of them is getting what you pay for. That's why a lot of people have got to be friends with their marathon man. Because they know he takes a personal interest in the well-being of their cars. An interest that goes beyond just filling the tank and checking the oil. Your marathon man still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and watering your battery are part of what you pay for when you come into this station. And your marathon man still knows how to service your car when it needs it, and how to treat you the way he likes to be treated when he's a customer. So if you haven't already gotten to be friends with your marathon, well, you really ought to. You'll definitely get what you pay for, and probably a little bit more. Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we do.
Well, the Tigers now trailing by a big 5 runs as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Not too many games this year as the Tigers been behind by a large margin. Not been blown out too many times. But the unexpected power of Larry Wolf coming to the floor here this afternoon with 3 hits, a single, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. The young man has not had a major league homer until today, and he has 2 of them. Wilcox is loosening in the bullpen. I suspect that's just simply working between starts because Milt is scheduled to work in the series at Milwaukee. He'll go on Tuesday night. Here's Phil Mankowski leading off the 5th inning. He swings and bounces one to first. Cusick gloves it, makes the play unassisted. 1 pitch, 1 away in the Tiger 5th inning. That'll bring up Rusty Staub, who hasn't had much to swing at here today. Goltz has walked him twice. In Ralph Houk's rotation, Steve Baker goes in the finale of the series tomorrow. And then Wilcox Tuesday, Slayton Wednesday in Milwaukee. Staub takes a strike. Big right-hander Dave Schultz winds and delivers. Popped in the air to left center field. Coming on is Norwood. He's there. Waits and has it. 2 down in the Tiger 5th inning. That'll bring up Thompson. Jason getting a bit discouraged when he's hit the ball hard. He's been hitting it at people. And as a result, his batting average has taken a dip. Jason took a lot of extra batting practice before the ball game last evening. Seven to 2, the Twins in front of the Tigers. The pitch to Thompson. Swung on. There's a long fly ball to center field. Racing back is Ford. He may have the room to race and get under it. He leaps. He won't get it. It's off the fence at the 4:15 mark. Headed for third is Thompson. He is being held at third. The throw to the plate. And a triple for Thompson. He almost had an inside the park job. And he didn't miss a home run by very much. It hit off the fence atop the wall above the 415-foot mark. Thought Ford, with the wind blowing in, might have a chance to get underneath it. Well, he got underneath it, jumped for it, but couldn't come down with it. A triple for Thompson. Well, the Tigers had 3 of them in the ball game last night. Here's Kemp. Well, the pitch is taken on the inside corner for a strike. Well, the crowd here got a chance to do some cheering. They were pretty silent in the top of this inning when the Twins scored 4 runs. in the dirt, blocked by Boardman out in front. Well, the fans, you could tell from their reaction, had expected Thompson to be wheeled on in by Freddie Hatfield, the third base coach, but he was well down the line here and signaling to Jason to hold at third. And we're taking a chance being down by 5 runs. Now the stretch, the pitch to Kemp. On the outside corner with a breaking ball, 2-1 on Steve. Beg your pardon, a 1-2 count. Now Goltz delivers. Fastball popped in the air down the left field line. It is slicing and going foul in the bullpen. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Kemp. With 2 outs, Thompson at third. The Tigers down by 5, 7-2. Cleveland has barged out to a 5-1 lead over Milwaukee now after 3 innings. Here's the pitch to Kemp. Swung on a bouncer to third. Cusick with an easy hop, trots to the bag to tag it and retire Kemp and the Tigers in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, that triple by Thompson. No errors, and 1 left after 5 innings of play. Minnesota 7, Detroit 2.
The new Detroit News AM edition presents something for the jock in all of us. Sports insights from columns by the likes of Jerry Green and Mike O'Hara. Hot tips from our easy-to-read racing page. A summary of all sports in a new daily feature, appropriately titled All Sports. And an inning-by-inning rundown of most every Tiger game in our exclusive AM edition feature, Play-by-Play. The new Detroit News AM edition at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. It's the first good news of the day.
Reading the Detroit News AM edition can make you smarter. And from now until June 30th, richer, with a new game called Joker Poker. You play it like poker, with cards that appear Monday through Friday in the AM edition of the News. 2 of a kind could win you $50. A Royal Flush, $5,000. Joker Poker, no purchase necessary. Rules and entries available through the Detroit News or in the new AM edition. Like they say, it's the first good news of the day. Only now, it's even more so.
This game is being brought to you by Labatt. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt. By Marathon dealers and distributors, people who've got together to do it better. By the Greta Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers who've got Horizon, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. You can't buy a better plug than Champion. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the new Detroit News AM edition. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. Now, more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
The Herbie Redmond Show here Saturday afternoon. Got as big a cheer as most anything else that happened during the ball game so far. The Tigers down 7-2. Grounds crew has groomed the field. They've left, and here's the first pitch. Willie Norwood cuts and misses on a fastball from Foucault. Norwood struck out and singled to left center. The pitch. Curve is swung on and missed. He really fooled him on that. Well, the Detroit area fans know of another Willie Norwood who performed for the Detroit Pistons. In fact, a couple of different stints with the Pistons. Pitch to Norwood, low and away for a ball, 1-2. Foucault's pitch swung on. A little pop-up out behind short. Trammell racing out. Could be trouble. He can't get it. He tried to basket catch it. Heading for second is Norwood. The throw, he slides. He is out at second base. And it dropped off the glove of Trammell. We'll wait for the scorer's decision on it. Could be a hit. Could be an error, but it was a really tough chance for Trammell. Somebody picked up the ball. I'm not even sure who. Fired to Whitaker as he backpedaled to the bag at second. Wheeled around and put the tag on Norwood, sliding in head first. The throw is from Stanley. Okay. It will be a single for Norwood. And then the put-out goes 8-4. Stanley to Whitaker. Here's Smalley with a line drive to right center field. It'll be in for a base hit for Smalley. Corcoran over to cut it off. And Smalley, switching around to bat left-handed, tees off on the first pitch for his second hit of the ball game. One out, Smalley at first. Bombo Rivera, the batter. He's 2 for 3. 12 hits for the Twins now. 4 of them off Foucault. Set by Steve. Here's the pitch. Low curve is on the inside corner for a strike. Foucault looking in, getting the sign from May. Delivers. Strike 2 called. Rivera single in the first inning and single in the fifth. In between, he bounced out the third. Slow curve, he struck him out. Rivera goes down on strikes. The first strikeout for Foucault. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Bob Hines inviting you to join me weekends right here on America's great radio station for the great weekend. Here on Radio 76, WJR, Detroit.
The batter now is Dan Ford, is 0 for 3 so far. Tried to right a couple of times and bounced to second. Foucault ready, delivers. Swung on and missed the breaking ball, now effective for Foucault. Windy day here at Tiger Stadium. The wind blowing in from left field, but it hasn't deterred a couple of blows that direction by Larry Wolf with his 2 home runs. Smalley at first. The pitch to the plate. It's a pitch out, but Smalley isn't going. Foucault leaning on the knee. Now goes to the stretch. He delivers outside. Good stop by May. Well, the Public School League and Catholic Championship game is going to be held here at the stadium on Monday afternoon. Cass Tech beat Mumford in the City League playoffs, so they'll go against Birmingham Brother Rice in the title game at 1 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, Orchard Lake St. Mary's plays Mumford. Curve is hit in the air to left center field. Coming on is Stanley. He's there, makes the catch, and that retires the side. For the Twins in the 6th inning, no runs despite 2 hits, no errors. They leave a man. After 5.5 innings, it's Minnesota 7, Detroit 2.
When I traded in my old wagon for an economy one, all my buddies said I'd have to give up a lot. You know, ride, room, and comfort. Well, I didn't give up. I got this Plymouth Valari wagon. I sure didn't give up big car rides. I didn't give up room for 6. I didn't give up comfort. Oh, I did give up one thing when I bought my Valari wagon. A lot of trips to the gas station.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Valari wagon with manual transmission at 25 miles per gallon highway, 18 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Valari wagon, America's first choice in wagons over the past 2 years.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Get a Valari.
For a great value on Plymouth Valari, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Tiger Stadium. The Minnesota Twins with a healthy 5-run lead over the Tigers, or unhealthy, depending on your outlook. Steve Baker goes against Jeff Zahn on the windup of the series. Tigers have faced two right-handers so far in this series. Zahn, a left-hander, coming at them tomorrow. Here's Milt May. May is hitless in 2 trips. Milt's batting average has drifted down close to the 300 mark now. The pitch to him. It's low, ball 1. 7 runs on 12 hits for the Twins. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. Goltz delivers. There's a line drive to right center. It'll be in for a hit from May. Center fielder Ford picks it up, and Milt leads off the Tigers 6th with a single. And to bring up Corcoran, who is hitless in 2 trips. Thompson is the only Tiger with a pair of hits. He had a single in the first inning and a triple in the 5th. Now the stretch by Goltz. Here's the pitch. Strike called. He fired a fastball right by Tim, who was simply looking at it. Infield playing in double play depth. The pitch. Swung on, a fly ball to left center field. Back into his left is Norwood, still chasing. He reaches, makes the catch. Good catch, and May has to hustle back from second. He was all the way down to second. And out in the outfield, I don't know whether that's Ford who's down. I think he tried to get out of the way of Norwood. That ball was a slicing fly ball that seemed to carry very well into the wind. And Norwood ran it down, caught it as he was headed down to the warning track. Here comes Gene Mock out. He's got nobody loosening in the bullpen. Mickey Stanley is the next Tiger batter. Going to have a word with Dave Goltz about something. I don't know. He's certainly making a point with Goltz. Mock extremely well respected by all baseball people for his knowledge of the game. Mike Marshall, the relief pitcher of the Twins, makes no bones about it. He says there's no question but what he's the best manager in baseball. Oh, there's one down. May at first base. Stanley 1 for 2. Robbed of a base hit his last time up by Smalley. The pitch outside with the curve. Mickey singled in the second inning. The pitch to Stanley. Ball 2. It was over but low. Well, the Tigers interested in the outcome of the Southern Cal game last night. They won their ball game, and they'll go against the University of Michigan tomorrow in the second game for each team in the College World Series in Omaha. The pitch from Goltz. Swung on and bounced foul over toward the Tiger dugout. Stanley settling himself in the batter's box. Big Dave Goltz looking into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul again behind the plate over toward the field seats. It took a bad hop for the front row spectators, however. Tigers will be off on Monday and then make another quick sojourn to Milwaukee. Kind of an odd schedule this year. They did it a couple of weeks ago, went to Milwaukee for a night and day game. And they'll go for 2 night games, Tuesday and Wednesday night this week. Have an off day Thursday, and then be back home on Friday. The set by Goltz, the pitch. Moved him back for the fastball. Full count now on Stanley. 7-2. The Twins lead it. Larry Wolf, the young third baseman, has driven in 5 runs with a single and 2 home runs. Second homer coming with 2 men on. Stanley swings a fly ball to right field. Coming over is Rivera. He makes the grab. The throw behind, but May gets back in time to first. Rivera was playing Stanley not to pull against Goltz, and thereby he was able to get there in time. So they're 2 away. May still at first after his leadoff single, and the batter will be Trammell. Trammell has walked and fly to center. The pitch to Allen. In the dirt. Good stop by Borgman. Well, they stretch by Ghost. He delivers. Over but low. Ball 1, ball 2 on Trammell. Well, the old roof walker is at it again. He disappeared. I guess going up into a generator shack or something. The late innings, you'll note here at the stadium, the man walks along the roof, brings down the pennants. There's a ground ball to third, gloved by Wolf. He'll go to second for the force on May, and that's all for the Tigers in the 6th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left after 6 innings of play. It's still Minnesota 7, Detroit 2.
During this break in the action, here's an update from WJR News. The Chinese foreign minister is on his way to Zaire, apparently making an effort to counter the growing Soviet and Cuban influence in Africa. American sources say the Chinese official discussed the African situation with Secretary of State Vance in New York this week. The Soviet foreign minister says President Carter could improve chances for reaching a new SALT agreement if he worked a little harder at persuading opponents of a new SALT pact to support the agreement. The president does plan some lobbying this weekend, but not in support of the SALT pact. He intends to telephone some lawmakers about his plan to put a lid on rising hospital costs. The most conservative of the candidates seeking the Republican nomination for a U.S. Senate seat from Virginia is generally considered to have the initial edge at a nominating convention in Richmond this weekend. A former business agent for Detroit Laborers Union Local has been jailed pending a June 12th hearing in the shooting death of another union official. Talks are continuing today between bargainers for General Telephone Company and striking members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Detroit's temperature 67. Bill Smith, WJR News.
Steve Foucault still loosening up to face the Minnesota Ball Club here in the top of the 7th inning. Foukie relieved Bob Sykes in the 5th and got roughed up a bit himself by a bunt single and a home run by Larry Wolf with 2 aboard. He's since also given up 2 more hits. But Steve is working himself back into shape after suffering a pulled muscle in the leg. Jim Crawford, in the meantime, beginning to loosen down in the Tiger bullpen. Jose Morales, the DH for the Twins, to lead off the 7th inning, and back for the play-by-play. Here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. The Twins are hitting the ball hard. They've got 12 hits, and here's Morales, who's gone 0 for 3. He swings and misses. One of the 3 batters without a hit. Outfield deep and a little bit to right on Morales. He stands way back in the batter's box. Foucault ready to go to work on him. Strike 1 pitch coming up to Jose Morales. He takes a let-up that's high. 1-1 the count on him. Cleveland leads Milwaukee 5-1 in the 4th inning, the only other game underway in the American League this afternoon. There's a bounding ball to first. Thompson makes the play unassisted, 1 away. Next man to bat will be Craig Kusick, who has a single and an RBI in 3/5. In the National League, the Dodgers and the Phillies are in the 7th inning. They are tied 1-1 at the Philadelphia. And in the 7th at Chicago, the Cubs leading Atlanta 4-3, I believe that is. 4-3. There's a cut and a miss by Kusick. St. Louis and Houston have a twilight doubleheader. The other games are all scheduled tonight in the National. Foucault pitches a changeup that hits the mark. It got the inside corner on Craig Kusick. Strike 2, the count of the big guy. Bob Randall waits on deck. Slow curve hit to left field for a base hit. He handled that one neatly. And Kusick is on with his second hit, the 13th for the Twins. Here's Bob Randall, who's had a couple of singles in 3 turns. The middle time at bat, he popped the shortstop Trammell. The big inning of the game, the fifth, when Minnesota got 4 runs, featuring a 3-run homer by Wolf. He earlier did a bases-empty home run and picked up a single. So he's been the big man in the ball game. He's on deck right now. 7 runs, 13 hits for the Twins. The Tigers have 2 runs and 5 hits. It's the 7th inning at Tiger Stadium. Infield and double play depth with a man on and the man out for Minnesota. Randall, it's a line drive speared by Thompson. He touches the base. It's a double play. That's all in the 7th for Minnesota. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, Twins 7, Tigers 2.
You're at the plate in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Who were the 5 great sluggers Carl Hubbell struck out in the 1934 All-Star Game? Relax and think it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer. Hubbell, the meal ticket of the New York Giants, baffled the American League's greatest sluggers with his famed screwball pitch as he fanned Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin. What a performance. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
This broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Baseball Club and the American League and is intended for the private use of our listening audience. Rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play is prohibited unless prior consent is received from WJR Detroit, the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club, and the American League. The announcers for this broadcast are selected and employed by WJR Radio and the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club. Ernie?
Lou Whitaker leading it off. The Tigers have hit a lot of fly balls. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 flies caught by the Minnesota outfielders. Here's Whitaker against Galt. 7-2, Twins in the lead, and the big right-hander deals a fastball in for a strike call. Got the inside corner. Whitaker's bounced to short, singled, and fly to center. He picked up an RBI in the 2nd inning. Low curve gets over, strike 2, the count on Lou. Crawford continues to throw in the Tiger bullpen. Cloudy skies now around Detroit, but it is partly sunny. Here's the windup in the pitch. Very wide, a 1-2, the count on Whitaker. That's the Dodger-Philly game in the 8th inning. They are still tied at 1-1. Dave Galt winds and pitches. Here's a fastball. He checks his swing. Make it a 2-2 count. Goltz walked 4 batters in the first 2 innings. He's settled down since then. Since then, he's allowed only 2 hits. He's not walked anybody. Now the 2-2 delivery. Swung on a bounding ball to short. Smalley has it to the left. Guns it over to Cusick in time. Smalley's made a couple of good plays out at shortstop this afternoon. Here's Mankowski batting in the Tigers 7th with 1 away. Still is bounced to second in a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning and grounded out to first base. Twins trying to make it 2 straight. They've got a 5-run lead here, 7-2, 7th inning. Goat pitches. It is a strike call, letter high fastball. Ground ball to third. Wolf has an easy chance. Throw to first, 2 away in the Tigers' 7th inning. That'll bring up Rusty Staub, who is without a hit. He walked his first 2 times. And then the last time up in the 5th inning, did a fly ball to Willie Norwood in left. Free jacket day tomorrow. We hope you'll be out with us. Game time will be 1:30. It'll be the final game of this homestand. Swing and a miss by Mr. Staub. Strike 1. Wind up and the pitch on the way. He takes the ball wide. 1-1 on Rusty. Tigers left 5 men in the first 2 innings. They've left only 2 on the bases since then. Here's a ball, a sharp curve in close. 2-1, the count on Staub. Thompson with 2 hits, Whitaker with 1. May has 1 and Stanley 1. Those are the Tiger 5 hits off the big right-hander Dave Gold. Dave not quite ready. Rusty still waiting on a 2-1 serve. Here it comes. He takes a strike, 2-2. Gultz checking his sign. Works again. There's a bounding ball right back to Gultz. He juggles it, grabs it, throws to first. Side retired, 1-2-3. And at the end of 7, it is Twins 7, Tigers 2.
I know a friend when I see one. And I know a good thing when I get it. I know where to go when I need a helping hand. That's why I've got a friend, the Marathon Man.
Friends can add a lot to your life. That's why when you're taking care of something important like your car, it's good to do business with somebody you know by his first name. Somebody who takes you and your car personally and treats it like it was his own. Somebody you ought to know. Your Marathon Man.
Oh, get together with a man who can. Go be your Marathon Man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we do.
This is Radio 76, where news comes first every hour. And I'm Dave White, inviting you to join us, just so you'll know, here on WJR Detroit.
New Tiger pitcher coming on with the Twins batting in the 8th inning, leading the Tigers 7-2. It'll be the left-hander Jim Crawford with a record of 1-2. This will mark Jim's 12th appearance, all in relief. He's worked 18 2/3 innings. So Foucault, the second man, leads the game with this record, 2 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. He didn't walk anybody. He struck out 1. And here's a villain in this Saturday melodrama with muscles. Wolf, who has 2 home runs, one of them a 3-run homer, one of Ace's empty home run, and also an RBI single. He's knocked in 5 runs. He's really the difference in the game. Right-hand batting Wolf at the plate, and he takes the strike called. His home runs were almost in the identical spot. Deep left center field, down the line a little bit from the 365-foot marker in the lower deck. He takes a curve into close, 1-1. Wolf had not hit a major league home run until today, and he's picked up 2 in 2 trips in the 4th and 5th innings this afternoon. 1-1 pitch to him. He takes the ball outside. 2-1, the count on Larry Wolf. 7-2, the Twins lead in the 8th inning at Tiger Stadium. Jim Crawford takes his time out there on the mound. Now kicks from the division. Here's a fly ball at the right field. Deep. Corcoran going back. He'll have room. He's got it in front of the warning track. Wolf retired for the first time today on a fly to right. Borgman will be the batter. Glenn Borgman, the right-hand hitting catcher, has walked, bounced to third, grounded back to the pitcher. Crawford winds and delivers. It is a slow curve over for a strike. Cleveland leading Milwaukee in the 6th inning 5-3, the only day game going on right now in the American League. New York and Oakland have started, but we don't have any report from it yet. Next pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. Still 4-3 Chicago over Atlanta in the 7th inning. That's Chicago and the National. And the Dodgers and the Phils are tied 1-1 in the 8th. Here's a curve low, 2-1 now the count. Norwood, the left fielder, waits on deck. Twins lead the Tigers 7-2 in the 8th inning. Now the motion and the pitch. He takes a strike on the outside corner. 2-2 the count on him. Crawford delivers. There's a ball in too close. 3-2. Twins got 2 in the second. The Tigers tied him with 2. Then the Twins went ahead with 1 in the 4th. Added 4 runs in the 5th inning. No scoring since then. There's a line shot right through the middle of the diamond. Almost took Crawford's head off, and it'll be a base hit for Borgman. He did lose his cap, but not his head. Well, there have been some shots hit up the middle today by the Minnesota Twin batters. Sykes had one blaze right by him early in the ball game, and then another one. Here's Willie Norwood, the right-hand batter, with 2 singles and a strikeout. He takes a curve from Crawford. It's low for a ball. Twins have had a hit in every inning except the 3rd, when the starter Sykes got him out 1-2-3 in that inning. They've got 14 hits now. There's a foul out of play over on the first base side. 1-1 the count on Norwood. Smalley with 2 hits, Rivera with 2, Cusick with 2, Randall with 2, Wolf with 3, Norwood with 2, and Borgman with 1. Crawford sets and delivers. Here's a tap foul right down at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Willie Norwood. Remember to stay tuned for the Scoreboard Show with Paul Carey. You'll have the details of all the Major League action this afternoon. Man on first, Borgman, not much of a lead for him. 1-2 now, the count on Norwood, waiting on Crawford's next delivery. It is a low curve, make it a 2-2 count. Big blow of the ball game, that 3-run homer by Wolf, his 2nd home run. Now Crawford ready for action, but it is 2-2. Norwood takes strike. Oh, the curve got him on the inside corner. He's called out on strike. First strikeout for Crawford. 2 down, 1 on. Top of the batting order comes up now, Roy Smalley. Roy with a double and a single, and he's fouled to first and bounced to third. Batting right-handed in the leadoff spot. Some hitters do not like to bat leadoff. I think it's cost them about 15, 20 points on their average over a season. There's a half cut. It's ruled a ball. He checked his swing in time. Ball 1, the count on Smalley. Set by Crawford. He pitches. There's a fly ball down the line and right. A long run for Corcoran, and he did not get it. It's a fair ball. He got his glove on it. Couldn't hold on. Borgman rounding third, headed home. Smalley going for third, and he'll make it standing. It was right near the line. Corcoran crossed over, but apparently the ball was fair when he touched it. It hit his glove and bounded away. It'll be scored as an error against Tim Corcoran. A run comes in, and now it is 8-2 favor the Twins. Bombo Rivera will be the batter. He's had a couple of singles, a bounce to third, and a strikeout. That's the first error charged to the Tigers. Corcoran charged with it, got his glove on the ball, but couldn't hang on as he raced across the foul line into foul territory. There's a chopper hit foul toward third base. Strike 1 on Rivera. Cleveland leading Milwaukee 6-3. They've taken that game in Milwaukee into the 7th inning. 8-2. The Twins lead the Tigers, trying to make it 2 straight over the Tigers in their first series of the year. Rivera backs away. The pitch got over. Strike 2 called on Bombo. He didn't agree with Mr. Dale Ford about that one. Outfield plays him straight away. The infield is back. Smalley watching Crawford from the third base line. Here's the pitch. It is a ball low. Good stop by May. Throw to third. He's safe. Tough play by May. He had to catch the ball on the short bounce. And it almost hit Rivera, which made it even a tougher pitch to handle for May. Dan Ford on deck for the Twins. Crawford, the third Tiger pitcher, ready for action here in the 8th inning. He delivers. Here's a ball low again. Another good stop by May. That one hit in front of the plate. 2-2 the count. Crawford checks out his sign now with May, ready to go again. It's a 2-2 pitch coming up to Rivera. He takes the ball low, making a full count on him. Bright and sunny now. Those clouds have blown away. Look for a good day tomorrow. Crawford kicks and deals. Here's a ball low. It gets by May. In to score comes Smalley. It'll be a base-on ball for Rivera, and it'll be a 9-2 lead now for the Minnesota Twins. Wild pitch charged to Crawford. The walk is the first off, Jim, and now Ford will be the batter. The Twins have a 7-run margin. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Mark Avery drives the music home in the afternoon music call, Monday through Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock here on the Goodwill Station, WJR Detroit, Radio 76.
Crawford ready, delivers a low one outside, the ball one. 9 runs, 14 hits for Minnesota. Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits. Each team has an error. Crawford kicks and deals. Here's a swing and a miss. He pulled him with a changeup. Ford without a hit. He's fly to right twice, to center once, and bounced to second base. Been about the most consistent player for the Minnesota Ball Club. Waiting now on the left-hander's 1-1 delivery, but Crawford's going to throw over to first instead. Rivera back with ease. Here's the pitch. He swings at the bounding ball to short. Trammell has it, flips it over to Whitaker. They get the force out on Rivera, and the inning is over. 2 runs on the 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the last half of the 8th inning now. Twins 9, the Tigers 2.
Well, I remember way back in 52, and those magic moments with Mary Lou, hanging out at the drive-in in my 57 Ford V8.
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Ford's better than your Ford. Oh, yeah? What do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion plugs. Oh, well, hey, listen, man, I just remembered I got to get my ducktail trimmed, right? Hey, Rocky, I bet my Pinto gets better mileage than your Pinto. Oh, yeah? Tell me, what do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion plugs. Oh, wow. Hey, I got a split. I just remembered I got to get a hair transplant, right? Hey, time to change.
Buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
Here's the paid attendance this afternoon at Tiger Stadium, 21,227. Goltz has gone all the way. He's got a fat lead to work with now. He's 7-run margin over the Tigers, with the Tigers batting in the 8th inning. 9-2, the Twins ahead. Jason Thompson will lead it off. He's had a single and a triple, the only Tiger with 2 hits. His middle turned at bat, he popped out to third. That Dodger-Philly game is in the 9th inning. They're tied 1-1. Cubs lead it loud in the 7th, 4-3. No other National League games reporting in today. And in the day game in the American League, the only one reporting, 7th inning, Cleveland leads Milwaukee 6-3. So here's Thompson at the plate now to try to start something. Tigers have only 5 hits off Goats. He's kept them pretty well scattered. There's a high fly ball lifted to right field, fairly deep, but not deep enough. Ford comes over from center and makes the catch in front of Rivera, the right fielder. 1 pitch and 1 down in the Tiger 8th inning. Last 7 Tiger batters have gone down in a row. Next man up there will be Kemp, who's gone 0 for 2. He's had a walk. Steve, the left-handed batting outfielder, takes the cut. It's a bounding ball to second. Randall gobbles it up. So to Cusick, got him. 2 pitches, and 2 Tigers are down in the 8th. Milt May, the batter. He has fly to center, bounced to second, and singled. 1 for 3 for Milt. He's the last man to reach base against the Goats when he led off the 6th inning with that single. Since then, they've all gone out. Dave Gold, the big right-hander, winds and pitches. It's a strike called on May. He was taking all the way. Free jacket day tomorrow. Game time 1:30. There's a bounding ball to first base. It's fair, knocked down by Cusick, and they throw in time to go to retire the Tigers. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 9th inning. It is the Twins 9, the Tigers 2.
When can you afford to throw money away?
Not when I shop.
Not when I drive.
Not when I go to the bank.
Small change can add up to big dollars. That's why there's a big difference between City National Bank and those other banks that charge you for writing checks.
Nobody, cause nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
Only City National Bank saves you money with combo checking. Keep a minimum $200 in checking or savings. You write all your checks without charge. All your checks without charge. Combo checking. No other bank in Michigan has it.
No statement fees.
No charge per check.
At City National Bank, I feel terrific because I'm not throwing money away.
Don't throw your money away. Open a City National Bank charge-free checking account now.
Who's got it? Nobody has City National Bank.
Also available at National Bank of Rochester and First Citizens Bank in Troy.
Did you know the psychological studies show that among athletes, weightlifters are the most inclined to suffer inferiority complexes? I'm Jim Forrest, WJR Sports.
It's been all Minnesota Twins here this afternoon at Tiger Stadium. The Twins 9 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. The Tigers 2-5-1. Going into the 9th inning, and Morales will lead it off. He's the cleanup hitter who does not yet have a hit. Bounced to third on a force out, lined to short, bounced to first base the last 2 trips. Sykes, Prukall, and Crawford have toiled on the mound for the Tigers. 5 runs off Sykes and 2 off Crawford. And 2 off Prukall. There's a ball low, ball 1. Morales waiting, left-handed deals. It is a ball high, 2-0 the count on him. Cusick and Randall will follow here in the Minnesota 9th inning. Now the windup by Jim. He delivers. Here's a fly ball at the right field. May drop in. Here comes Corcoran. Can't get it. Fields it on 1 hop. And that is the first hit today for Morales. It is the 15th hit for Minnesota. Here's Cusick, who's picked up singles his last 2 times and has 2 for 4. The only Minnesota batter down without a hit is the number 3 batter, Ford, who's gone 0 for 5. Right-hand batting Cusick at the plate. Outfield deep and straight away the infield back. There's a fastball outside by reliever Crawford. Wolf has paced the Minnesota hitting attack, 2 home runs and a single, 5 runs batted in. Curb stays away from the plate, 2-0. Thompson holding on the bag at first with Morales. And Cusick takes the ball in too close, 3-0 the count on Craig. Bob Randall waiting on deck. 9-2, Minnesota leads in the ninth. Strike call. They got a breaking ball in the outside corner. Set by Crawford. He pitches. Cusick swings, high fly ball, short center. Stanley coming in. He's there waiting. He has it for the out. And back to first goes Morales. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Randall. Bob has singled twice, popped to short, and lined into a double play to Thompson at first base. Had a line drive right at the bag in the 7th inning, and Cusick was doubled off. One-time Dodger property, Bobby Randall. He takes the ball that gets by May and goes to the screen. On to second will go Morales. The official scorer says that's a wild pitch. So there's a man at second, 1 man down. Ball 1 is the count on Randall. Crawford sets, kicks, pitches. Bob swings a bounding ball to Trammell at short. He has it. Fires over to first to Thompson, and Morales has to hold at second on the out. That's 2 down. And here's Wolf, who's been the big man for Minnesota. Singled and knocked in a run in the 2nd inning. He hit a home run in the 4th inning, the first home run for him of his major league career. He hit a 3-run homer the next time up in the 5th inning, and then in the 8th he fly to right. Larry Wolf. Right-hand batter takes a strike call. Crawford curved him. Twins 9, Tigers 2, 9th inning. Man on second for Minnesota. There's a fly ball hit again to right. A little deeper this time. Corcoran going back to the wall. He's got it right up against the wall. Side retired in the 9th inning for the Twins. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And at the end of 8.5 innings at Tiger Stadium, Minnesota 9, the Tigers 2.
Were you listening to Focus the day that fashion editor Robert L. Greene ripped apart J.P. McCarthy's wardrobe? Or were you in the audience when Dr. Billy Graham shared the studio with some staff members from Playboy magazine? Then there was the time that Lloyd Bridges came up for air long enough to talk about underwater filming. Those are just some of the highlights that contribute to the long-standing success of Focus, a 45-minute exercise in stimulating conversation with the famous and infamous, including noted authors, newsmakers, show business personalities, and a myriad of people from all walks of life. Meet the people you've been hearing about up close and personal as JP asks the questions you'd probably ask yourself. That's Focus, afternoons at 12:15 here on WJR Radio 76.
Dave Gholst on the mound now, pitching for the Twins. He's got a 9-2 lead with the Tigers coming to bat in the 9th inning. 9 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for the Twins. The Tigers have 2-5-1. Corcoran, Stanley, and Trammell, the 3 bottom men in the batting order, are scheduled to be the 3 hitters here against Gholst, who settled down after a shaky first couple of innings and has been in command all the way with some heavy hitting support from his teammates. Don't forget the Paul Carey scoreboard show when the game's over. Paul will be here with details of the Major League action for you. Here's Corcoran at the plate. He has struck out, fly to left, and fly to center. 0 for 3 for Corky this afternoon. Single game tomorrow, game time 1:30. We'll be on the air with our pregame doings at 1:15. It'll be Steve Baker against Jeff Zahn. There's a strike called. It'll also be free jacket day for the youngsters. Gold ready for action. Strike one pitch on the way. He takes the ball in close. Any youngster 14 and under coming in on a full-price ticket gets a free blue vinyl jacket with a Tiger emblem on it. Compliments of the club. Bounding ball to first. Cusack makes the play easily by himself, and there's one up and one down in the Tiger ninth inning. And the Tigers have not had a runner since May led off the sixth with a single. That's 10 in a row that Gholtz has set down. Here's Stanley, who singled, then was thrown out on a great play in the fourth inning by Roy Smalley. In the sixth inning, his last time up, he flied to right. 1 for 3 for the veteran Mickey Stanley. Gholtz rocks and pitches. Here's a strike called. Whitaker with a single. Thompson with a single and a triple. May has a single and Stanley has a single. Those have been the Tigers' 5 hits. Tigers scored their 2 runs in the second on a single by Stanley, a walk to Trammell, a single by Whitaker, an error by Norwood, and a sacrifice by Mankowski. Here's the motion in the pitch. Stanley hits a bounding ball to second. Randall to his right, deep, has it, throws to first, got him. 2 down in the Tiger ninth inning. They trail 9-2, and Allen and Trammell stepping into the plate. Trammell walked in the second and scored a run. He flied to center in the fourth inning. He hit it to force out the third base in the sixth inning. Gives him 0 for 2 officially this afternoon. It's been Minnesota all the way in this game. Gholtz delivers. Here's a pop foul that'll reach the seats, and a gentleman from Warren, Ohio will take one home with him. Whitaker waiting on deck. The Tigers need a bunch of runs here. They trail by 7, 9-2 with 2 down in the ninth inning. There's a line shot to right. It'll be a foul ball by a foot. Very close to the line, but into foul territory. Two-strike count on Alan Trammell. Gholtz back of the mound now, taking a little trip to the Rosenbag. After the Sunday game, the Tigers do not play on Monday. Then they go to Milwaukee Tuesday night and Wednesday night. There's a curve. It's over, but it's low. 1-2 on Allen. 9 for the Twins, 2 for Detroit. Ninth inning, 2 out, nobody on. Here's the motion on the pitch. Swinging a bounding ball to shortstop. Smalley has it near the bag, flips it over to Cusick. It's over, and Minnesota has won 2 straight in this series from the Tigers. In the ninth, nothing across for Detroit. The final score, Twins 9, Tigers 2.
The manager has just sent you to the plate in the Labatt baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Who was the youngest player in Major League history? While you're thinking about it, why not have a cool Labatt's beer? The answer? Joe Nuxhall of the Cincinnati Reds. He was 15 years and 10 months old when he pitched 2/3 of an inning against the Cardinals on June 10th, 1944. Beer and baseball. That's a team that really goes together. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
This is Jim Garrett. Street lights out in Detroit? Report the location to the city's public lighting department. 875-0972.
It was not a good day for the Detroit Tigers here this Saturday afternoon. The Minnesota Twins beating Detroit by a score of 9-2, one of the poorer games played by the Tigers. They did very little against Dave Gholtz, stirring a little bit in the second inning for a couple of runs, but Gholtz went all the way with a 5-hit performance. And in the meantime, the Twins raked 3 Tiger pitchers for 15 hits. The attack led by Larry Wolf, a relatively light-hitting third baseman who had a single to drive and a run in the second inning, a home run to break a 2-2 tie in the fourth, and a 3-run homer in the 4-run fifth inning as the Twins broke it wide open in the fifth. The totals for Minnesota, 9 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error. For the Tigers, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Both teams left 7 on base. Gholtz, getting his second complete game of the year, has now won 2 and lost 3. And Bob Sykes has dropped his 3rd straight. He has a record of 3-3. The Twins scoring 2 runs in the second inning on a single by Larry Wolf, following a single by Bob Randall and a steal. And Roy Smalley doubled in Wolf. The Tigers got him back to tie the game in the bottom of the second inning with 1 out. Stanley single to right. Alan Trammell walked. Then Lou Whitaker singled to drive in a run. The runners moving up on an error by Norwood in left, and then Phil Mankowski brought in the tying run with a sacrifice fly. And as it turned out, that was the last scoring for Detroit in the ball game, as Gholtz blanked the Tigers on 2 hits over the last 7 innings. In the meantime, the Twins moved in front on Wolf's first major league home run in the 4th inning off the starter Sykes. And then in the 5th inning, Rivera led off with a single with 2 outs. Craig Cusick singled him home from second. And then with Steve Foucault taking over, Bob Randall beat out a bunt single, putting 2 on, and Larry Wolf hit his second home run of the day and his second in his major league career to make it 7-2 Minnesota. They added a couple of unearned runs in the 8th inning, a 1-run scoring on an error in right field by Tim Corcoran, another run on a wild pitch by Jim Crawford. So the Twins have made the Tigers look bad here this afternoon. After a narrow escape for them in the opener of the series last night, they've taken 2 in a row. Tigers will try to salvage 1 game out of the series tomorrow when rookie Steve Baker faces left-hander Jeff Zahn. Our broadcast coverage to begin at 1:15 with Ernie Harwell's pregame program. That's the story this afternoon from Tiger Stadium. For Ernie, this is Paul Carey saying so long. Once again, the final score, the Minnesota Twins 9, the Detroit Tigers 2.
You've been listening to Detroit Tiger Baseball 1978. Brought to you by Labatt. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt, Canada's #1 beer. By your Marathon dealers and Marathon distributors, people who got together to do it better. By your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who got Horizon, Motor Trend Magazine's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plug. Treat your car to a fresh set of champions for super starts and better mileage and performance. Remember, you can't buy a better plug than Champion. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the Detroit News AM edition at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking, 2 ways to check without charges. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Now True Value Hardware stores can help you keep a chest cold this summer. The 12-quart light cooler chest keeps cold because the chest is polyurethane insulated and the cover is air insulated. And right now it's priced at just $6.99 as the June bargain of the month at True Value Hardware Store. The rugged plastic 12-quart light cooler chest is a perfect size for family picnics, sports outings, or camping trips because it holds 12 cans plus food and ice. And the lid reverses to become a handy serving tray. The best way to keep a chest cold this summer is to make sure it's the 12-quart insulated light cooler chest. Get it for just $6.99 as the June bargain of the month while supplies last at participating True Value Hardware stores.
True Value Hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that is True Value.
Welcome to the Paul Carey Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Radio 76, your power station for sports. Now, for the scores, the players who made news, and a resume of the action of today's baseball game, back to the stadium and Paul Carey.
Good afternoon again from Tiger Stadium, where today the Tigers were drubbed by the Minnesota Twins 9-2. Let's check the scoreboard of the activity on Saturday, and not a great deal this afternoon in the National League, for instance. 5 games are coming up tonight, with only 2 this afternoon. At Wrigley Field in Chicago, a game that slowed down considerably in the 7th inning. The Cubs and Braves both rallying for runs in the 7th inning. Now, after 7 innings just in, the Cubs have come up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th after Atlanta scored 3 in the top half. It's now Chicago 8 and Atlanta 6. Niekro started for Atlanta, and he was the first of 6 pitchers so far for Atlanta. Scott came on in the 3rd, Solomon in the 5th, Devine, Easterly, and Campbell have all relieved in the 7th inning for Atlanta. Burris began for the Cubs. Fryman entered in the 6th inning. Paul Rushell in the 7th. Also, Moore and Hernandez coming on in relief for the Cubs in the 7th inning. Dave Kingman hit a bases-empty homer for the Cubs, his 10th of the year. That came early in the game in the 2nd inning. And Boone hit his 5th with nobody aboard for Philadelphia in the 5th inning. And it's now, or that's in the wrong ball game. I'm sorry, that's in the other one. The next one I'm going to talk about. At any rate, through 7 innings of play, the Cubs leading Atlanta by a score of 8-6. At Philadelphia, after 8 innings of play, it's the Dodgers 1 and the Phillies 1. Sutton started for the Dodgers. Forster relieved in the 8th inning. Christensen started for the Phils, relieved by McGraw in the 9th, and that game's still hanging. We've not had the final as yet. Boone hit a home run in that game for the Phillies, only run, and it's 1-1 in the 9th inning. Coming up tonight, a twilight doubleheader at Houston, the Cardinals and Astros. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati for a single game. In other single games, the Giants play at Montreal and San Diego at New York. A check for the American League in 1 minute.
This Sunday, the Free Press goes arty, and you can too, as the Detroit Institute of Art brings you a 32-page Free Press color supplement featuring dozens of masterpieces from the Institute. Each one is accompanied by commentary about its significance and the artist who created it. You Gotta Have Art is the title, an excellent way to bring a bit of cultural enrichment from the Detroit Institute of Art right into your home. And it's all yours in this Sunday's Free Press. After a tour of the Institute, you'll find a sneak preview of the 1979 model cars and Lightning. That's in Sunday's Free Press business section. Then set your cruise control for Detroit Magazine to see just what your sleep patterns really mean. And wrap up your day when you see if you can outguess Free Press picks on who's going to walk away with the Tony Awards on Sunday night. Phone 222-6500 or the nearest Detroit Free Press office for home delivery. Starts this Sunday and every day the Free Press way.
In the American League, 2 other games in addition to the Tiger game today. At Milwaukee, after 7 innings of play now, the Cleveland Indians have a 6-4 lead over the Brewers. Paxton started for the Tribe. Manji has relieved him in the 7th inning. Augustine was the Milwaukee starter, relieved by Ed Rodriguez in the 3rd. Thomas homered in the 2nd for the Brewers, his 9th of the year. It came with nobody aboard. And a couple of Cleveland home runs. Andre Thornton and Rick Manning both homered with the bases empty for Cleveland in the 3rd inning. Number 8 for Thornton, the 2nd for Manning. It's Cleveland 6 and the Brewers 4 after 7 innings of play. The other one is just nicely underway out in Oakland, where the A's are hosting the Yankees. No score after 1 inning. Messersmith getting his 2nd start for New York. Keogh is on the mound for Oakland. Tonight, Texas is at Toronto, Chicago at Kansas City, Boston at California, and Baltimore goes against Seattle out in the Kingdome. A recap of the Tiger game in 1 minute.
The secret of a baseball club's success is making the most efficient use of energy on the field. There's lots of energy used on the field, but if it's not used efficiently, it's energy wasted. Your York contractor wants to help you make sure that every bit of energy you use to heat and cool your home is used as efficiently as possible. For instance, there's the York Maximizer heat pump. Talk about efficient.
The Maximizer, installed by your York contractor as part of your present warm air heating system, can start saving you energy, fuel, and dollars immediately. Or how about replacement of your old energy-wasting heating system with a new Climaster 4 furnace? Designed by York engineers to be the very latest development in quiet, efficient home heating, Climaster 4 can give you complete peace of mind and lower fuel bills next winter. Your Tigerland York contractor knows that the 78 Tigers will make the most efficient use of their energy, and he wants to see that you do the same when it comes to heating and cooling your home. For the York contractor in your area, call mechanical representatives at 285-0400.
We've got a National League final now. That game at Philadelphia that was hanging in the ninth inning for so long is over, and it's over as a result of a home run by Dave Johnson in the ninth with the bases loaded, a grand slam homer by Davey Johnson, giving the Phillies a 5-1 victory over the Dodgers. Pinning the loss on Forster, he's 1-1. McGraw gets the win in relief. He is 4-3. Johnson, grand slammer, his second of the year, the second home run of the year, giving the Phillies a 5-1 victory over the Dodgers. Here in Detroit this afternoon, the Minnesota Twins trimmed the Tigers 9-2 as Larry Wolf drove in 5 runs with a single and 2 home runs, the first 2 of his major league career. Dave Schultz breezing to his second win against 3 defeats. 9-15-1 for Minnesota, 2-5-1 for the Tigers, as Bob Sykes started and took the loss. He is 3-3. The game took 2 hours, 21 minutes, a crowd of 21,227. Tomorrow, the windup of the series, Steve Baker goes against Jeff Zahn. And that's today's scoreboard show from Tiger Stadium. Paul Carey wishing you good afternoon.
The Paul Carey Sports Scoreboard was brought to you by Radio 76, your power station for sports. The Paul Carey Sports Scoreboard is heard right after all Detroit Tiger baseball games. This is the Detroit Tigers Baseball Network.
Radio 76, this is WJR Detroit. Under partly sunny skies at 69 degrees in Detroit, 72 degrees at Ypsilanti. News from NBC is next. At the tone, 5 o'clock, Eastern Daylight Time. NBC Radio News. Good afternoon. Jeff Thompson reporting. Canada has announced extension of its deadline barring American trawlers from Canadian fishing grounds. The noon Sunday pullout deadline has been extended 24 hours to give ships time to get out of Canadian waters. The ban is being imposed because of a failure to reach agreement on new rules for fishing. A similar ban against Canadian fishermen is being imposed by the United States. The first of the 11 U.S. Air Force jet transport planes have begun arriving in Morocco to start an airlift operation to Zaire. In Washington, State Department spokesman Charles Shapiro explained that mission.
U.S. planes will transport Moroccan forces to Zaire in the near future as part of an airlift which will move French troops now in Zaire to France. The United States will consider transporting further contingents of African troops to Zaire as requests from interested African governments involved.
At a French-sponsored meeting in Paris Monday, a high-level American team will carry to the session on African stability President Carter's pledge of support for deployment of an all-African force.